Today we're kicking off a new series I like to call The Hitchhiker's Guide to Solus, where we'll be taking a look at the universe and lore of Battleborn. While the game does feature a campaign, much of the lore is tucked away elsewhere, through external resources, character lore challenges, and little bits in the story missions. So today I want to dive in and display the information in a readily available and informative format. Because this is the first episode in the new series, we're going to start with a broad topic to introduce you to the universe itself. Quite clear from the promotional materials, description, and story of the game, Solus is the last star in the universe. The threat of the Varelsi has rapidly consumed sun after sun, leaving us with a relatively small setting given the space science fiction universe. Beyond that, Solus is just one system, not a whole galaxy. There's a reason that it was civilization's last chance and pick. Full of dangerous systems, there's really only one or two safe places in the Solus system. But let's jump right into the major features of Solus. Solus itself, Ekinar, Bliss, Tempest, the Arc Fleet, the Detritus Ring, and beyond that, the Growing Darkness. First up is Solus itself. There's really only so much to say about it. It's obviously a sun, as the few planets of the system seem to orbit around it, and it illuminates all of them. Due to the initial darkening damage, it gives off waves of energy that crystallizes and spreads out through Solus, striking planets in shard storms. These shards are hugely valuable, used for currency, powering machines, and more. Next up is the LLC Arc Fleet. It stands out as it is not native to the Solar System, and is not actually a planet. It's actually a series of 250,000 Arc ships and 3,800 Guild ships. Arc ships refer to a number of things: transit, personal crafts, combat ships, and more. What's really interesting about this fleet is why it's so planet-like: the Guild ships. These massive vessels are used for a variety of purposes, holding entire populations consisting of artisans, lawyers, and more. They can host powerful people or families, or even hold an entire corporation. I'll make sure to come back to the Arc Fleet when we talk about the LLC. Then, there's the generate homeworld Tempest. This, in my opinion, is the coolest planet in Solus, and I honestly can't wait until I get to the generate lore episode to explore it. That video will probably have to wait until the first DLC is released, as it apparently will talk about a key event of the planet, the Third Thrall Uprising. Tempest itself is actually a tidally locked planet, an actual astronomical phenomenon where an orbiting planet constantly faces the body of orbit. So Tempest always has the same side facing Solus, and the other looking out at vast emptiness. As such, it leaves one half of the planet intensely hot and the other frozen, with just a strip around the middle made perfectly habitable for the generate. The upper class and highborn live above the surface in floating cities called echelons, while the lower facilities are reserved for factories and thralls. Then there's the planet of the Eldred, Ekinar. The last truly green planet in the universe, Ekinar is also an astronomical phenomenon, but one that's not actually possible. Just looking at the planet you can see what I'm talking about. It's entirely fragmented, yet somehow held together. The Akuni dwarves, think Boulder, are native to the lower levels of the planets, and it's possible their mysterious magic, or that of the pre-runner race, the Azanti, is responsible for holding the planet together. The other Eldred races have made the planet their home, due to the planet's now unique lush nature. Bliss is a shithole. It's an ice-covered, wind-torn world with flows of lava to add icing to the already icy cake. It's home to several UPR colonies, due largely to lack of other options. I'll talk more about it in their episode, but the UPR has struggled to survive and settle in Solus. The planet is riddled with Azanti ruins and the bones of long-dead giant beasts. The Detritus Ring loops around Solus containing, detritus. It's full of asteroids and old abandoned spacecrafts from miners and those caught in the ring. There are a number of old ships and mining bases inhabited by the Rogues, living outside the influence or control of the UPR, LLC, or Generate. However, the Rogues aren't the only thing living in the Detritus Ring. Looking at you, Aurochs. And lastly, we have the Growing Darkness. What's beyond the light of Solus is vague, to say the least. We obviously know that the Varelsi are consuming stars, but it's a little unclear if darkness and orbital instability are the only things this causes. The official map of Solus shows what appears to be creeping tendrils. Even with all the lore that I can find, the Varelsi are still hugely unknown. If I end up making an episode about them, it'll likely be a much later one. So there you have it, the broader setting of Battleborn. Solus is an odd setting with lots of minute details that I look forward to exploring further in the coming weeks as we continue on with this series. Next time, we'll take a look at the imperialist force that is the Generate Empire. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, you know how that works, and if you really enjoy my content, consider subscribing today. If you want to support Ghostbones directly and have some disposable income, consider backing me on Patreon. Until next time, beautiful Battleborn.